And that was not the shopping mall, that was a liquor store. What was happening there, Leland?
What was so striking about this liquor store, we showed up around 8 or 9 o'clock to this street corner where the police had their riot lines and they were protecting the liquor stores there. They were protecting a number of the small businesses, mini marts, those kinds of things. And then by 9 o'clock, 9:30, they retreated. There were hundreds of police officers versus dozens of rioters and looters. They threw a couple of bottles at the police and the police backed off, and that is when they rushed in and looted those liquor stores. And we were sort of between the police that were about 100 yards up the way and then the liquor stores down at the bottom of the hill, and the police were watching it. And there were dozens, if not hundreds, of police in riot gear. They had beanbag rounds, they had tear gas, and they just watched it happen. And the question now is what message did what happened last night send to the rest of this community? Remember, it all started when kids got out of school last night. There is no school today, so all these kids sat home and watched 50 or 60 of their buddies get the 5-finger discount on liquor, on snacks, on sneakers, on leather jackets, jeans, whatever they wanted. And now all of a sudden they wake up today and they think, boy, the police going to stand by the same way they did yesterday.
None of that had anything to do with Freddie Gray, too, the 25-year-old who was buried yesterday and had his funeral here. One Fox producer told me he would ask the police officers last night, why don't you do anything? And they said, talk to the mayor. What did they tell you about their reaction?
Every time we approached a police line, you kind of got the batons raised to you and said, back off. There was no interest in discussing anything. There was no interest in answering any questions. They were certainly professional in a way, but there was no discussions. The only thing I got from one officer is I said, you guys have had a long night. He said it'll be over when it's over, and that was it.
Well, maybe it's over today.
Well, we would hope.
Maybe it's not. Were you able to pick up on this story about these teenagers, I'll call them, connecting through social media, and which essentially amounted to a flash mob, as I mentioned a few moments ago, where they were intent on doing damage and